What do you got for me today?
Who's playing, who's not?
Yeah, I know. I knew that was coming. Right now on defense, Dax Hill and Cam Taylor-Britt, we'll hold those guys out. They're progressing really well. Dax coming off the injury. Cam's just really been day-to-day with our stuff. There's no reason to put him out there for this game. So them, along with Trey Hendrickson and B.J. Hill up front, Cedric Johnson as well up front. He'll be out as well. So those guys and Marco Wilson, another corner, who will be out this week. So defensively, I think that pretty well covers it. Offensively, who will be out? Let me think for a second. Matt Lee. Obviously, you guys have seen him just slowly work his way back into practice, so we'll keep him out for this game. Mike Gesicki will be out for this game. Yep.
Is that serious with Mike? Do we know?
No, it's right now he would be out this week. I think it'd be questionable if we were playing a game Sunday, a real football game. He'd be working back to play in that game. So I think that's the best way to phrase his status right now is he was optimistic that if we were playing a real game this weekend, he'd be able to go. So we'll continue to manage him. Whether that means we'll gear him back up next week. We're going to be really protective with Mike. And it also coincides with Noah getting back in the mix here. So it's a great opportunity for Noah to get some reps in there and integrate him in the offense and also give Mike a chance to fully recover.
Was the plan for Dax to at some point get him into a game this preseason?
Yeah. I'm not 100% firm on that has to happen. I think Dax has had a really good camp with the things we've asked him to do. We're going to continue to make sure that we're putting him in the best environment to be fully healthy for Cleveland week 1. So I'd love to get to the point where maybe we get him that opportunity, but I don't think that's set in stone that we're going to mandate that has to happen. I'll get you.
How do you view Dax's role?
A lot of flexibility. He's been majoring in the slot a little bit more, but he's got that outside flex because obviously we saw him play that a lot last year. So I think Dax is a really good chess piece for us where he can major in a lot of different areas, but he's been playing mostly in the slot when he's been out there in team periods.
Zach, are you willing to share the extent of what Joe Burrow on Thursday?
We'll see. This won't be – we don't have this targeted as the biggest play time for all of our guys. We really pegged Washington to be a little more of that. So, again, another thing I hate to put in stone, several series is what we'll give those starters.
What are you hoping to get out of those? Like, it's the first time they've really been out there extensively. What are you hoping to get out of that?
Game atmosphere. So going on the road like we are week 1, we do have a road primetime game early in the season, so the lights are on, you're in a road environment, that's great. Getting everybody off the field, as much as we practice it and do it, it's not the same feel. So I think just those 11 guys being in the huddle on both sides of the ball and all the communications that's got to occur. So it's just a good opportunity for those guys to get some additional reps.
How's Amarius doing?
He's good. Yeah, he's just managing through it. It's training camp. It'd be different if this was a game week in terms of how we'd handle him. So there's been times we've been pushing him and pulling him back. But I'm encouraged by everything we're seeing from him.
Amarius will play.
Yes, that's the plan.
And you're saying, Coach, the big play time, you're tagging Washington?
That's how we have laid it out. Again, it's a long time from now to Washington. I think we've got, from a Thursday to a Monday, so however many days that is. Again, we're flexible with how the plans can change there, but right now that would be more of a target for us.
It's clear you're looking at Fairchild as a starter. Would he be with all the starters that come out after a couple series, or do you want to see more from him because he's?
We'll balance that. Week 1, we got a pretty clear plan on just keeping him in there with that group, but again, over the course of training camp, if we deem we'd like a rookie to get some more time or a second-year player that maybe requires more time, then we're open to doing that.
How have you seen that when Dax has been on the slot? How have you seen those guys who have been on the outside?
I think there's no reason to like the depth chart that goes out. I try to express to the guys like this is meaningless towards their competition. You have to put something on paper, but don't hold me to any of that because I think the battles at corner right now have been outstanding. I think some guys have had some excellent days. You can go through and say, well, that guy should be a starter. That guy should be a starter. I mean, it's been really good battles. I feel really good about our depth there right now. And as we all know at corner, like depth is critical because those guys are all going to be starters at some point. So I feel really good about the development of that room and the competition in that room.
How do you feel DJ Ivy's performance?
Really good. Again, DJ's, when I'm making this general statement, DJ is a big part of that. I think DJ Ivy, DJ Turner, all those guys, have done a really good job competing and doing what we're asking them to do.
Zach, just to clarify, when you said several series for the starters in the preseason?
Yeah.
Did you mean this game, a Washington game,
This
or in
game,
general?
this game, you know, this one really, give or take, you're really looking at, I'm gonna define it for you, the first quarter. But it's give or take, I mean, it could be a long possession that, eats up most of the first quarter, you wanna get another one. So it's just, I've always been in these preseason situations, you're careful to say what I just said, because it could go into the second quarter because of reps we've gotten. But right now, that's about the target period we've got.
Now that he's signed and practiced a few times, how does Noah fit with how you envision the tight end?
I think he's done a good job picking it up with James. And so now the goal was to get him through this game. So Noah's a guy is not going to play in this game. Okay, so I didn't say his name because I was thinking injuries, but Noah won't play in this game. And then once we get back, he's fully integrated. Now let's see how we can utilize him and continue to let him grow in our system. And part of it was because just not seeing him in football pads and run around, we didn't want to make sure we were putting him in a bad spot physically. So now once we get through this game, he'll be full go and has a couple extra days to learn the insults and stuff. I'm really excited about him. He's embraced everything we've put at him from a mental standpoint. Excited to see the physical stuff he has down on the field, routes on air and group install. And some of the walkthrough stuff we did yesterday, he did a good job comprehending. And so now the next step is just fully integrating him with the offense.
What do you like, what you've seen from Taj Brooks?
I think he's got really good vision. He's got a good understanding of our protections, which is going to come at any young running back, especially in these preseason games. That part can really expose you. So he's done a good job understanding the technique we want, what his assignments are. He's had some really good runs for us. He's got really good vision. Once he gets past the line of scrimmage and it requires him to kind of make that second level read, I've seen really good things from Taj, and we're excited about him.
Him and Chase seem to have some similarities. Why do y'all like that style of bat? Why does that fit this offense so well?
Well, I don't think you always pinpoint yourself in the draft on we're taking this style of back. Taj was just a guy we really liked at where we were at in the draft. And so I wouldn't say we're trying to get two like bodies there. I think Taj can excel in all three phases of offense and can be a special teams contributor for us. So he can excel in the run game. He's got good hands in the pass game. And I think he's a good enough protector to help us out there. So that's really what we look at. It's not a similarity to Chase. It's more just we think he can play all three of those roles for us.
How much does the structure, or maybe the pace of practice change once you get in preseason game mode, or does it at all?
For today, like leading up to the game, it changes. Today's pace of practice is a little bit different. It's a little bit more of a little longer of a in-season Friday mindset for us, where we do start to gear back a little bit in terms of the physicality. So in terms of a competitive period today, there's really only two. Normally have four. And then there's some stuff as we just start to introduce our guys to what to expect from Philly.
You've seen Shema for a week. You said he
Physical.
first notes.
Physical and disruptive. You know, those are the two biggest things. And so again, that's a tremendous starting point for a young player to come in there and not be tentative. I would say that I'd use the opposite word for him. Whatever the opposite of tentative is, I'll let you go ahead and whatever term you want to use there. Yeah, disruptive, aggressive, violent. I've seen all that stuff from Shamar.
How nice is it to have play, and how is he grasping the offense?
All right, you next.
Sorry. Will Desmond Ritter play, and how is he grasping the
Yeah,
offense?
Desmond's done a really good job. Right out the gate, I thought Desmond really did a good job getting with Brad Craigthorpe and learning the system, and really impressed with how quickly he's picked it up. And so, again, Jake playing a healthy amount of the rest of the game when Joe comes out, and then Desmond getting a chance to get whatever's left over there. That would be the plan for him.
How valuable is having Shamar's versatility, being able to put him all across the
Critical. You know, that was one of the biggest things Al and Jerry liked about his game was the versatility, moving all the way down the line of scrimmage, all three downs. And so I think those guys are harder to find than you think, you know, that have true versatility to be able to do all that stuff. And that's exciting for the flexibility of our defense to have a guy that's able to play all those different roles.
How curious are you to see finally the guard positions shape out in a game situation?
It's good just to face different types of guys, different, defensive structure, just something different to go against. And so I think just the different bodies they'll go against will be good to watch. So it'll be exciting to watch those guys play.
What has stood out the most to you about those two positions in camp so far?
Those two guard positions.
The way the competition has
Yeah, it's still an ongoing competition. I like Dylan's athleticism, if we're just talking about left guard. So I think you can see the wrestling background. You can see the physicality he plays with. He's able to recover if things don't go well. You're able to see the recoverability that really helps him get through the down. And I think there's been good competition on right guard. Right now between Cody and Lucas. Lucas obviously had the setback early in camp. Now he's gotten back into it. I thought he's looked good the last couple of days. And so we'll just continue to let that play on.
When you're making final decisions at the end of camp or decisions about competitions, how much are you going to use preseason tape on what they do out there to make those decisions?
It's all a combination. Some guys will really put their best foot forward when we get out there in the game. Then you get a chance to take a broader look at them as you get back into practice and maybe put them in different positions to feel out more of the picture. And then you come back and you play another game and you get a chance to put them in situations. So I think the preseason games do matter. When the lights come on, how do guys perform? How do they communicate? Did they get tired? When they got tired, did they get lazy? All those traits we're looking for in our players to be able to push through all that will show up in the preseason games.
What's it like to see Trey kind of, as he's been watching, be very active and how he's kind of mentoring some of the younger guys? How much have you caught wind of that? What's it been like to kind of see that?
It's good. That's expectation. For him being a veteran player, being able to come in and pass down the knowledge that he's gotten from his own experience, from past players that have given him that knowledge. I appreciate that he's out there helping these young guys get better.
All these rookies obviously have a lot on their plate, but Barrett also with the green dot, how much more taxing is that for a young guy, and how have you seen him with his command with the defense?
I think he's only gotten better every day. I think that he's got a lot of upside. Been really pleased with how all of the linebackers have developed. Really, I think that's a room where there's been a ton of competition. There's been a ton of roles up for grabs. I'm not just talking about active roster spots. I'm talking about practice squad spots. And I think every linebacker we have has gotten better as this camp has progressed. And that's put us in a really good position there in that room. I think Mike Hodges has done a great job coming in there and helping develop those guys.
Jaylen Rivers, what you've seen from him, and do you kind of view him as the swing tackle right now?
I think it's very much up in the air for what his role is going to be for us. I've been really pleased with the progress that he's made. We had really high expectations for him when he came in, and he's really done a good job meeting those expectations. And the difficult part for him is he came in and got settled in at left tackle, then we throw him over to right tackle, and so he's just got to be ready to move around, and that's the part that he'll continue to adjust to. But from a mental standpoint, he's been outstanding. From a physical standpoint, there's been some things that we are really, really liking about Jaylen, and continue to give him more opportunities to showcase what he's able to do for us over the course of training camp.
I feel like some rookie classes seem like they have a general attitude about them or something that they bring to the team. Is there one that this group of rookies?
Football IQ.
Yeah.
I think the football IQ and the leadership in this group is outstanding, top to bottom. It's talking about undrafted guys too. Like this undrafted group is really good. There's been some guys that have really caught our attention in this group. So I'm really pleased with the job the scouts did, the work the coaches have put in to bring in this group, because I think it's really made us a better football team.
How rare is that football IQ for rookies to be a thing that you start with? I mean, that's not necessarily normal.
Right. So that's guys that a lot of them were captains at their schools. A lot of them stuck it out, for the 3, 4, 5 years they were in college. Consistency in the same program. Which is one of the challenges when you bounce around. I've been there. I went to 3 colleges. When you bounce around, you start over in a lot of ways, and so you miss some ground level stuff that coach assumes you learned at that school, and you didn't. I always tell the story. I went through my senior year in stretch. The DB coach in Nebraska would come talk to me. Does this team fire zone a lot? And I was like, a little bit, yeah, a little bit, like 15, 20%. I didn't know what fire zone meant, because everyone just assumed I knew what it meant. So I just had to BS my way through a stretch every week for 12 weeks with Phil Mason while he asked me about fire zone. That was what he loved to talk about. And I didn't know the definition of fire zone. And so I was just I always tell that story to quarterbacks I've coached. Like, don't assume any question you're asking is a dumb question. We might say the word cloud over and over again. They don't know that means cover 2. So sometimes you have to define that, and you have to make sure your players are open to asking that question, and they don't feel dumb for asking a question that maybe they just didn't learn at their high school or their college, or they transferred so many times it was assumed they knew it. So I don't even know what got me on this tangent right now, but it's whatever you said just got me going here a little bit. But I'll just end it. awkwardly because I don't even know why I got here.
Jaylen Rivers is, obviously was versatile in
Yeah.
college. Do you envision him maybe getting reps at
It's a
guard?
possibility. That's a possibility. I think as we gotten through these first 2 weeks, sometimes with Amarius being out, for a couple days, that put us in a position where we got a chance to look at him at right tackle. But I certainly would not take that off the table, that he's going to have a chance to move around even more.
Follow up on that tangent real quick. Why does that not hurt development then in that case, or does that impact development in terms of like long-term trajectory with QBs? Like obviously you were able to pick it up and refine in Nebraska, but why does that? How is that such a big impact if guys just don't sit long enough to learn basic concepts?
Well, it's hard because you want to play and yeah, you want to compete. But for quarterbacks, the writing is on the wall sometime. Like, barring injury, my whole college career is going to end, and I might not get a chance to step on the field, regardless of how hard I worked. And so there's only one quarterback that walks on the field, unless you played at Princeton like 10 years ago and they played 3 at one time. Only one goes on the field. So it's just sometimes you transfer because you just don't want to waste another year. It's hard. And so, again, that's when I talk about all these transfers, like that was me. So I understand it as well as anybody. But it's just sometimes you got to make a decision. Do I jump now or do I play this thing out and hope someone gets hurt or hope I physically develop even more where I can beat that guy out? That's a tough pill to swallow sometimes.